Hey guys, I want to start off by looking at the weekly chart here, these white lines that I've been pointing out for the last couple of months. And I pointed out in my last video that I was hoping that this weekly candle would close above this white trend line here. And right now, we're less than 24 hours away and we are trading above it currently still. So it is kind of becoming a thing that if this candle does close above this white line, that's where I'm starting to think we are going to test this upper white line. And that is the final line in the sand for me for thinking that there is going to be quite a large move coming within the following week or two after that close. Of course, none of this has to happen, and none of this is financial advice. These are extremely high risk markets. Always do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just showing you what I'm looking at in the charts and probabilities in the charts leading me to set my own trades here. So these white lines have been playing a significant role in the last few months, and I've pointed out before that this entire move here is the biggest pattern that I've ever seen in my life because that's as long as I've been trading. I think I started somewhere right about here. FOMO, that kind of thing, learning lessons. But anyway, so that's how long and powerful this pattern is. And all the trades that I've been showing you guys, you know, most of them have been these downward trend lines. And you've seen that I look at them on the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 15 minute, and I've been making some pretty good percentage trades out of them. These are weekly patterns. These are massive. The move here could be absolutely huge. If we do get this entire triangle play out, let's say we break out from even down here. That's where Bitcoin's getting close to the $28,000 mark, and I know I've pointed this out before, but let's look at a percentage. So from the breakout point, let's go from where we are right now. That would be about a 200% gain. And if you look at trading that with leverage, let's say you get in at a 10x leverage or a 20x leverage, well, you guys can do the math. That's ridiculous profits to be made, and that's only the initial measured move of this pattern. This could just be a much larger continuation pattern. Sometimes triangle patterns you might get 5 times the move that the measured move is targeting. That 28,000 would actually just be a fairly conservative target, I would say. But of course, I would be looking, if I was playing a breakout somewhere in here, I would obviously be looking at taking profits much sooner than 28,000. That's just kind of long-term analysis, and that does not have to play out. Now, after getting this out of the way and showing you guys my macro perspective here, if that all sort of plays out, let's go in here, even zoom into the daily here. You can see that we did break above that white line the once, had our fake out, and I had mentioned that if we drop below this white line again, I didn't think we were going to dump again as hard as we did last time. And that was because I said if we get back above that important weekly trend line a second time, I think there might be momentum to keep carrying us forward. So we got another candle close above here. And then even on this rejection candle, this red candle here, the body did close above that line still. We did wick below, but the candle did close above. And today, just, well, I guess a couple hours ago, we had this candle close here, a green one, the entire body above again, even with just the wick below. So the bulls are willing to step in and keep us above this weekly trend line. So let's zoom in further. Let's go to the 4 hour. You can see here that this kind of looks a little bit like a bull flag to me. We have, let's say, even if we go from here to here as a measured move, let's say we just broke out now. Look, we're getting really close to this purple line, and if I were a betting man, I'd say that's an important daily trend line I'm watching. That is a horizontal resistance that is obviously been pretty significant at a lot of points. These very wicks very significant, so that would actually make a lot of sense for that type of a measured move. And that's actually, besides that move, that is the last trade that I showed you guys. I was keeping you up to date with my position that I had entered along this purple trend line here. And after that, throughout the day, I believe it was my next video, I was mentioning this green trend line and how we were respecting it, and how in this general area, I believe it was actually right here, I actually added to my long position because I was looking at this as being another bull flag and carrying us to the upside. But even though I was wrong, I was already in such a great profit, and I had a lot of profits locked in before I added back into my position, and I had gone over my plan B to my exit strategy to get out of that. So just because I got stopped out on that, everything went as according to plan, locked in the rest of my profits. It was a great trade. Regret nothing. Now guys, in my last video, as I was saying, I said that if we drop below this white line, I didn't really expect us to dump hard again. And look at that, as soon as we got near it, we did end up just rising back up. Here we had a couple fake outs. Here we dropped below, and here we dropped below again, but immediately getting bought back up. And I actually took a long position here. I was watching, so I saw this fairly respected trend line going down, obviously a very micro move here. So I was kind of expecting that to break very soon. And I thought to myself, if I get a green 15-minute candle close that's really respecting this white trend line, giving me more confidence in it that I was accurate in mapping that out, that I'd be adding to my position. So here we go. Got that green candle close. So I opened a position at, it was 92.80. So that was basically the exact bottom for where I was buying in, which was great. And then you guys can see here, if I zoom out a little bit, I've been watching this red, I guess you'd call it a falling wedge here, to go with the bull flag theory. But I have a pretty well respected trend line here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touch points. So I'm going to give it some credit here. And we got our 15-minute close above that, and you guys know these are the patterns that I have been showing that have been quite accurate lately. So as soon as we got that 15-minute close, I added a long position. Well, I guess not on this candle, but after we got the close, I set an order for along the red trend line here for a little bit of a pullback to buy the dip, and basically got the exact bottom of that in this red candle as well. My entry there was at 94.45, and I never quite doubled down on my position or anything like that, but I did add to my position here, just hoping that this is going to play out as a bull flag. I feel like the risk reward is there, that these patterns have been playing out quite well recently. So I was willing to add a little bit to my position, and my average entry will be somewhere in the middle here. So my loss at this red line, if I am wrong on this, my loss will be very limited. It'll be not too bad at all. So I don't know, I'm willing to throw one on this just because those are two lines that were so well respected that I have been watching for the last day or two, that I was willing to throw in a trade. So we're gonna have to see how that goes, guys. If this does work out in my favor, I'd be expecting this green line to potentially act as resistance again. And where that came from, if I zoom out a little bit, I just went from this point, this touch point, you can see we started respecting it as a resistance flip right away. So I would be expecting that to potentially happen if we do end up rising that high again. I would definitely be looking at taking some profits there. But yeah, anyways guys, I just wanted to show you a few basic trend lines that I've been watching the last few days and how I'm looking to hopefully make some gains right now if this trade is to play out in my favor. If not, you can see my thinking behind it. Another thing is, I would probably consider reducing my position size just to reduce my risk if we do get some candle body closes below this red trend line, because I would assume that it may be failing its resistance to support flip. So I would lose confidence in my trade, and even if I kept my stop loss the same on some of my position, I'd probably be looking to reduce the size of it a little bit. So that's just to kind of give you guys a little bit of insight of how I'm looking to change up my strategy if I have to at the time, because I'm not emotionally attached to anything at this point. It can go up, it can go down. If I'm wrong, I'll try and reduce my risk or look for an exit strategy if possible. And if not, I have stop losses in place, and we're going to be responsible traders, guys. Again, none of this is financial advice. Know your risks on what you're getting involved with. And with that, guys, may the crypto gods shine down on you, and I'm out. Have a good night. Peace.